Check the date. September 7th, 2023. I need to go back and look at one of my videos that I made last March and see the aging that took place. Oh my gosh. But September is a nice break, let us say. Made it through the rush of the summer and Labor Day weekend, which is rife with interesting individuals, let's say. It's a different type of clientele than the 4th of July and stuff. In some respects, I think people are angry that summer is over. And so it brings out the werewolves, in the general public. But made it through September 7th today. There's a possibility I might be able to actually get a good portion of the day off and go to Rogers City and enjoy our new house. My plans are I'm going to sit in the driveway. It's I know it sounds kind of silly, but the driveway goes along the side of the house and then back in front of my workshop. I don't own a garage. I have a 2-room workshop with a big door, actually big enough for a car to fit through, but what a waste of space sticking a car, which is waterproof, in your workshop. It doesn't make any sense. But I've been going over a few things. One of the necessities of life is a top-handled chainsaw. It is. You might not realize it, but a top-handled, or as we call it in our language, a climb saw, it's an absolute necessary piece of equipment. And my Echo, I had an Echo, it was the smaller one, but with a sharp loop, that's what we call chains. It did fine, and it was a reliable little bugger. It was more reliable than my boss's Husqvarna climb saw. His major power increase over my modest little Echo that I bought at Home Depot. But I'll tell you what, to quote Hank Hill, that was one reliable saw. I mean, it was so easy to start. It cut with sharp teeth. Great little saw. And I bought it, I think, like $200 at Home Depot a while ago. And it lasted, 5 years of professional use. Great little saw. But I still have my Husqvarna 288, which is freaking old. I think it's about 20 years old. Literally, no exaggeration, thousands of hours worth of use. I'm pretty sure it even has the same darn spark plug. I mean, that's what kind of a saw it is, because I bought, almost 20 years ago, a saw for $800, Pay now or keep paying over time. Wonderful saw. It'll start up. And I love the sound of an 88cc chainsaw. It sounds like a motorcycle. Bum, bum, bum. Food for the soul. But yep, I need a new climb saw. So, looking at the prices, because I don't see the point in getting like an off-brand saw. And, if you're going to get a climb saw, you're actually going to climb around in trees. You're up there, you're working for a while. Having a saw that doesn't work right is it's bad. It's really bad. You want to know that saw hanging on your saddle, not from a lanyard, you don't just hang the saw from your saddle, silly boy. You need to know that it's going to start and it's going to run. It's not going to have a leaky gas tank or a whacked carburetor or a janky clutch or anything. You want a good saw. But you know what? If I was going to get a new Pro Series chainsaw, top-handled saw, I want to get a new one, Monsieur. You're going to be spending big bucks. I'm just guessing at numbers here, but I'd say if you wanted to get a good Pro Series steel climb saw, you're in it for $600-700. A lot more than my $200 Echo. A Husky, I don't know, maybe about there, plus or minus $100 or two. An Echo, they do have. I looked at Cheryl Tree. It's an arborist supply company. There is an Echo, their lowest version of it. And I'm not saying that the Echo I bought from Home Depot so long ago was pro quality. It probably wasn't. And it felt a little plasticky compared to my boss's Husqvarna. This is a good saw. So I don't judge the plasticiness of an Echo, even if it's not a Pro Series. The quality. I mean, it was a great saw. It didn't have the ultimate lifespan probably of a good steel. What, like, I don't know the numbers of steel, that's like a foreign language, but let's say I don't know, a CS climb saw 200T. T stands for Tyrannosaurus Rex, I'm sure. But you have to figure out how long do you want it to last? How much are you going to abuse it? In any case, I think you'd be a fool unless you're a homeowner that just wants to have a chainsaw hanging in their garage for looks. When the friends come over to drink. I'm going to force myself to say it. I don't do this. I'd go for Kalamazoo Stout. But when your friends come over to watch the Super Bowl, and you're drinking Bud Light, they'll look, hey, that's a cool saw. It's top handled saw. I've never seen one of those things. Again, I am not a Bud Light drinker. Even before the debacle, didn't see the sense of it. I'd rather get, well, anyway, I'm not going to talk about beer. So I'm looking at it. You can get Amazon, eBay saws, they're all the same. You know how they do that? There's one manufacturer that pumps out stupid cheap saws, and they put different names on them. Same thing. There's one that's just a riot. I think I'll put it on the thumbnail here. On the bar, it literally says chainsaw. It's like, I wonder what that is. It says chainsaw on it. But there's a Holtz Pfeffer, Hassan Pfeffer brand. They're blue, and you see them on YouTube, and they run and stuff like that. But what is the ultimate lifespan? And they've got problems with just the basic stuff, the screws. They're steel knockoffs, as I understand. When it comes time for saws to update and maybe patents run out, I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, then it's like they're up for grabs, and then the hyenas in the background can like snap them up and clone them and stuff. But my choices are that $360 Echo, plus or minus a few dollars, on Cheryl Tree's site. I don't have a catalog. I've got a Bartlett catalog right now. Or I'm thinking, I love Husqvarna's, but once bitten, twice shy kind of a thing. My boss just had Husqvarna's, which included his climb saw, and boy, that thing was temperamental. That was a powerful little saw, but it was temperamental and caused him nothing but headaches. So I'm sorry, Husky fans. In the bigger saws, Husky all the way, but the climb saws, they scare me because of what I've seen. So it would be between the Steel and the Echo. Am I going to buy a brand new Steel Pro Series climb saw? No, because I don't have that money to put up. I'm not going to put up $700 for a chainsaw, even though I'm looking at my climbing equipment. And when I total that up, it's probably $1,500 to $2,000. What's the sense in like putting so much time and effort in honing your skills at squirreling around trees, and buying all that fancy, never off brand. I'm never even going to buy a sling off of Amazon. I'm name brand all the way as far as that goes. But what's the sense in investing all that time, energy, developing your skills, buying the equipment, and then cheaping out with that most important tool, the thing that cuts the trees when you're up there? So no way Amazon or eBay saws. It's just stupid, But I have typed in used top-handled saws in arborist lingo, those climb saws, but general public will say top-handled. Good for one-handed use, and they're light and portable, around 8 pounds. And I've found a spate of steels hovering under $300 for, if I bought that same saw new, $700. And so it gets down to the lifespan. There's one in particular. It's $269. The plastic on the bodywork is kind of broken a little bit over the muffler. What big deal? That's just, superficial. It's aesthetics. It's the 2007 Chevy Silverado chainsaws. It still runs, but it's not, showroom new. What would be the lifespan of that thing? It's professional level steel. It's got a lot of use. I mean, all the paint is worn off of the bar. and the body is all stained and it's got a little bit of break and stuff. But the thing is you can rebuild those things. And being a pro level steel, it probably can run even in a little saws over 1,000 hours, at least 1,500 hours maybe. And so I asked the guy, it's because I'm looking at that saw. It's ugly, but it probably works well, and it's cheap, $269, and I think shipping is only 29. I asked him, as a fellow tree guy, you know, it looks like it has a lot of miles on it, but is it still a capable climb saw with any life left in it? So I'm waiting for his response. And I'm hoping I pulled the fellow tree guy card that he'll give me an accurate answer. He's selling it because he's out of the business, doesn't need it anymore, just upgraded. Or he's selling it because it's on its way out, because it just has like a million miles on it. We'll see. But that is my conclusion. Is that I'm not going to be like I was in the past, that professional tree worker that's going to be up there 5 days a week, hours and hours a day. But I do use the climb saw on the ground for a variety of things. My only other saw is this 88cc Husqvarna, which I use for everything. Right now I've got a very short bar. I think the bar's only 28 inches on it, which by, homeowner standards, that's a big bar. But shoot, I've got a 36-inch bar. I've got a 32-inch bar. I've got a 28-inch bar. You can switch it for its use. What I like about it, and this sounds lazy, is I'm not always the best about sharpening my loops, the chains. And even with a dull loop, that big power head will like burn its way through a tree, small diameter tree. And by small, I mean under 2 feet in diameter, even without the sharpest of loops, because I just power through it. 88 cc's, I think it's got like 7.5 horsepower. But it would be nice having a small saw that's light, gets a lot better gas mileage. Boy, that big Husky gets rotten gas mileage. It's got a big tank, and boy, it burns through the gas. And the bar oil. I've got the oiler turned all the way up because I milled with it. And I still mill with it, but it goes through a lot of fluids. Whereas the little saw, you can go through stuff. If you got a 14-inch bar on your chainsaw, you can go through a tree that's bigger than 14 inch. You just hit it from the other side, especially on the ground. But yeah, that's it. You know what? I am going to put a thumbnail of that that rinky-dink Amazon or eBay chainsaw on here. I'm sure I'm not going to get sued by the company. Nobody knows who the company is. It's probably the whatever chainsaw and electric bicycle company. Probably do a lot of different stuff, turning out just garbage with indeterminate quality of the bars, clutches, just the raw steel in the cylinder. You get a pro level saw and it's got much better steel in the cylinder and the piston than like some garbage saw does. I've rambled long enough. Crap, it's almost time to open the gate. Yeah, that's all I had to say.